Hi, folks. Steve Urban here. Today's episode of the Riderflex podcast is sponsored by our friends at SureUp, an engagement platform designed to educate members and propel them forward on a variety of total wellness topics. Learn more about how you can leverage SureUp to attract, retain, and reward your employees at SureUp.com. And be sure to use the enrollment code Riderflex. And on today's episode of the Riderflex podcast, recording this, by the way, April 5th, 2020, in the middle of the coronavirus situation and layoffs and higher unemployment, etc., are starting to hit the market. So I thought it'd be a good idea just to remind you that higher unemployment equals more competition for you as a job candidate, obviously. You know, we were in a what I would call a candidates market for so long, where candidates kind of had the advantage. Not that you could just go get any job you wanted, but lots of jobs, lots of opportunities, etc. Over the last 3 years, it's been interesting to watch candidates be super cocky about the situation because there's just so many opportunities out there and they could jump from job to job, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it's April 5th, like I said, 2020, and things are quickly changing for the U.S., and we're seeing layoffs and a slowdown, et cetera. I don't know how long this will last. Don't know if we're going into what they call a bear market for a super long time. Don't really know. I don't pretend to be an expert on that topic, but I will tell you that our clients have slowed with their hiring. In fact, we're hearing about lots of furloughs and layoffs. And so what does that mean for you, the job candidate? It means that the days of just kind of jumping around and picking whatever job you wanted and, not having a lot of competition, those are probably over for a while, at least I would guess. Now it's a little scarier, right? Now you got to up your game, so to speak. So, all those podcast episodes where I said, hey, update your resume, keep your LinkedIn updated, network, build relationships, invest time in all of your social media, stay relevant. Remember all those episodes? Remember that? Remember when I was coaching you to be ready and all of those things? Well, here it is, right? So for those of you that listen to the podcast and you heard me say 150 times to keep your resume and LinkedIn updated and stay relevant and network, and you haven't done it, well, I don't know what to tell you. This is why it's critical. Networking and relationships and keeping your resume up to date with accomplishments and just always being ready for these types of situations. It's just so important. You'll be ahead of the competition when things like this happen if you'll invest time in your profile. All those candidates we talk to, super cocky. Oh, I've been in the same job for 15 years and my company's super stable. And, I don't need to update my resume. I don't need to be on LinkedIn. That's dumb. How you feeling now? All right. How you feeling now? So this is a reminder that the competition's about to get a little more stiff, right? I mean, excellent candidates, well-qualified people are going to flood the market and they're going to be looking for jobs. And the ones that are ready, and they have a great LinkedIn profile, great resume, they've been networking, they got great relationships, they're super relevant, they're on social media, they're going to have an advantage over you, the listener that's not prepared. So if you haven't followed my advice on previous episodes, now is the time, especially if you're trapped at home right now listening to this episode, by the way. It's the perfect time. Get your LinkedIn together, update it, get your resume together, go into your social media and clean up any old crazy party pictures. Do all those things that I've mentioned you should do on previous episodes. Now is the time. Arm yourself for the situation that we're in on April 5th of 2020. Be ready, okay? Even if you haven't been furloughed or laid off, you might be if it gets worse. I don't know. I hope it doesn't. By the way, I'm not hoping that it gets worse. I hope it gets better. Maybe you're listening to this podcast 45 days from now and everything's great. I hope. I don't know. But I'm advising you to up your game, be ready, arm yourself, prepare yourself, and you'll be way ahead of the competition when you go in for that job interview along with the other 150 people that are applying. Okay? And there is your Riderflex episode of the day. The Riderflex podcast features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviews. Our show can be heard just about anywhere these days, but you can visit riderflex.com and click on the podcast page to hear all the previous episodes and learn more about the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Contact us at the email address info@riderflex.com or 888-964-5876. Thanks so much for listening, and if you enjoy our show, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and like the episodes.